Should more preteens be screened for a suicide risk? New research suggests the answer is yes. A new study found nearly a third of children between the ages of 10 and 12 screen positive for suicide risk in the emergency room. 7% of preteens brought in for physical complaints also showed a risk. Experts suggest it's because kids have a hard time raising mental health concerns with parents. Paula Tutman has been digging deeper into exactly what this means for families. Paula.
Karen, I just had a conversation with a young man who says he can remember contemplating suicide at 9 years old. And I said to him, what on earth could have been so bad for a 9-year-old to want to end their life? And he said a lot of things, and a lot of people just didn't listen to him.
I tried to commit suicide when I think I was 9 or 10.
Kamarian just turned 20 years old this week, and after speaking to him for just a few moments, my first thought was, what a loss if he had actually gone through what he was thinking about 11 short years ago.
We have a lot of sharp knives in our home, so I grabbed the biggest knife and I held it to my throat.
At that young age, he felt hopeless.
School was getting hard. Family life wasn't good.
He was diagnosed with a learning difference. In those days, it was called a learning disorder. He didn't feel good about himself. He'd been traumatized by a severe beating from a neighbor after witnessing something that neighbor didn't want him to see. He says his family saw that he was depressed.
She's like, your life is not hard yet, because you're young. It's like, it shouldn't be like that.
What should she have said?
She should. She did the right thing in comforting me, but she should have said, if it's not hard, take a step back. Take a step back, stop, and then let's talk about it.
At the Detroit-Wayne Mental Health Authority, experts on suicide prevention explain why signs for preteen suicidal thoughts can be so easily missed.
Prepubescent adolescent behavior and suicidal behavior have overlapping symptoms and behavior patterns.
But they explain that there are very often markers, however subtle, that can be recognized that show that a preteen could be contemplating suicide as early as 2 weeks prior to an attempt.
They will withdraw from their family, friends, activities, and not replace what they've withdrawn from with anything else.
When the child doesn't want to go to school, when the child stops communicating on whatever the social media site is, stop socializing with their friends that they normally would talk to, that's not normal for any child. Yeah, you might not want to talk to your family at home, but you definitely still want to engage in some social activities with friends. So that's a sign.
I heard something else interesting from the experts, and they were saying that even if someone does die by suicide, or some people say commit suicide, and there are grief counselors brought in and there's lots of attention, a young person, a prepubescent teen, the way their brain works, and they look at all of that attention, if they are bent on or if they're thinking about possible suicide, they will look at that as positive attention, not negative attention. And so parents really need to dial in to their child. And what's the difference between puberty and pre-puberty and depression? Karen?
There's so much to balance and to try to figure out, especially if you're a first-time parent of a preteen. I've got a question for you, Paula. You mentioned markers. What other kind of things can we look out for? You said obviously if they retrieve from the typical social scene, maybe not by their family. Was there any other things that we should be looking out for?
Karen, you know what? I was fascinated by that, and I really pressed them on that. What's the difference? What are these differentiating markers? And they said, you know what? Cue in to everything. If there's a difference in your child, ask questions.
All right. Very, very important report. We appreciate it, Paula. Thank you.